Backstage, The Undertaker is known as the leader of the locker room, as many WWE wrestlers point the finger at him being the boss.
You know who I am, okay?
So, pranking him is probably out of the question, unless you happen to know what the tough veteran is afraid of. Believe it or not, The Undertaker has a fear of cucumbers. Yeah, cucumbers. I'm not even kidding. I mean, what can you actually do with a cucumber other than eat it? Actually, hang on, no, don't think about that. Forget I asked the question. Paul Bearer, who was best known for being The Undertaker's manager, revealed The Undertaker's fear of cucumbers in an interview. He told Jim Cornette how The Undertaker threw up all over a Waffle House because of a cucumber that was floating in his iced tea. Knowing Taker's fear of cucumbers, Bearer took it upon himself to prank the Deadman by sticking cucumber slices in his hat and gloves. I can just imagine what The Undertaker's reaction would have been like. I wouldn't want to be in the room though, he might punch you in the face. While working for the WWE, Sable was considered to be one of the hardest women to work with, as she apparently had huge attitude issues, and claimed credit for all the success that happened during the Attitude Era. During her final show in Wembley Stadium, XPac decided to teach Sable a lesson by leaving a special gift in her travel bag. XPac defecated into a cup and placed it into Sable's bag. It was only until Sable was past customs, the airplane, and the ride home that she found out about XPac's gift. She even contemplated carrying out a DNA test on the feces, as she did not know where it came from. The next time XPac thinks of pulling a stunt like this again, he'll have Brock Lesnar to answer to. When Mark Henry was first starting out in the WWE, he wasn't liked backstage, perhaps due to the WWE offering him a 10-year contract with very high wages. At the time of being pranked, Henry had a broken leg and was on crutches. After witnessing Mark Henry lose his temper on some wrestlers after they jokingly hid his crutches before he went to the bathroom, this gave XPac and Owen Hart the idea to set up a little prank on Henry. Maybe one that went too far, in my opinion, because it's not pretty, let's just say. XPac took a foot-long sandwich that Henry was planning on eating for lunch, and guess what he did? Guess what XPac did? That's right. And he filled it with his own feces.
Oh, hell no!
Seriously, what is it with XPac in everything? The worst part about this prank is that Mark Henry actually took a bite out of the sandwich, which immediately caused him to vomit in the bathroom. Soon after the prank took place, Owen Hart told Henry that Vince McMahon wanted to see him. Poor Henry, who again was on crutches, had to take a trip around the entire arena to only find out that Mr. McMahon wasn't even in the arena. Just kind of mean. When it comes down to what's best for business, Vince McMahon leaves no prisoners. His ruthless decision-making and intimidating presence is often felt when meeting face-to-face with him, so when there is a prank involved, Vince McMahon is the last person you would point the finger to being the culprit. But not in Jonathan Coachman's case. In a SmackDown taping in Carolina back in 2001, Jerry Briscoe convinced Jonathan Coachman to start a fantasy football pool for $10 per wrestler, which he agreed to do, unbeknownst to the consequences that he would face later on. A short while later, Coach was greeted by two police officers who had information that he was running a gambling pool, which is a felony in Carolina. He was arrested and taken to Vince's office, where he was yelled at by the chairman,
Jonathan Coachman!
Who accused Coach of being unprofessional. The officers told him that $1,500 could get him out. However, Mr. McMahon refused and threw a pair of sweaty gym shorts for Coach to cover his face. Wonder where he got those from. Pretty sure there were some nice big sweaty men in the room with him at the time. The two officers then proceeded to escort the handcuffed coach out of the building, and drove him around for 10 minutes before returning back to the arena, stating that they had forgotten something. Much to the surprise of Coach, he was greeted by everyone, including the chairman having the laugh of their lives, as all of this was a prank set up by yours truly, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Something about this next prank is just so funny to imagine, and it involves Owen Hart, Edge, and a napkin. Before Owen Hart's unfortunate death in 1999, he was known for being a big prankster backstage. He pranked many superstars such as Bret Hart, Lex Luger, Jim Ross, Michael Cole, Harley Race, Edge, Val Venus, and even the chairman, Vince McMahon.
You messed with me?
But the prank we'll be focusing on is the prank he did to Edge. During a tag team match between Edge and Christian versus Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett, Owen Hart hid a foreign object under his armpit and took it out to use on Edge now and again. Edge, being Edge, sold the hit as if he'd been smacked on the head with a steel chair, despite not knowing what the object was. Later in the match, the referee would ask Owen to raise his arm and show him what he was using, and
it was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Poor Edge was selling the fact that he got hit repeatedly with a napkin. That's right, a napkin. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please show your support by leaving a like and sharing this video, as it really does help us a lot. Don't forget to comment below too, and we will pin up the best comment. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video from us. Lastly, for daily wrestling facts and more, follow all of our social media accounts, which are on screen and in the description. Thanks, and until the next video.